Hi, everyone. Dorothea Hendricks here, your communication coach and presentation skills and public speaking. In today's video, we're going to look at a technique that can help you actually build up your speaking comfort, build up your comfort level around speaking, build up your confidence, and reduce your speaking anxieties, your speaking stress. You've been asked to do a presentation, and where do you spend a lot of your time? In fact, this applies to almost all of us. What we do now is we're gathering information. We're pulling it all together. What do people need to know? And then we want to make sure we give them everything. Sometimes everything we know, we want to give them what we know. And then, of course, the slide deck. We have to put together a decent slide deck that goes with the words of our presentation. And then comes time for the presentation. And suddenly you realize you haven't had any practice time. You haven't done one iota of practice, not even one little one. Maybe you didn't even think of practicing your presentation. You spent all your time, 100% of your time, putting it together. But you've never practiced. It's the lack of practice. The lack of practice that adds to our speaking stress. It's the lack of practice that eats away at our confidence and builds up those anxieties when we have to stand up and speak. What we need to do is take the information we've got in our head. We need to move it through our body and bring it out of our mouth. In order to be an effective presenter, an effective communicator, we need to be able to hear what we sound like. Our voice, the volume, the vocal inflection, the variety, what we move like. It doesn't matter what virtual platform you're speaking on or if you're speaking in person, we need to get a feel for what we sound like and what we look like. And we can only do that with practice. Even one practice can make a difference. And when you hear how you sound, what you sound like, that will give you an idea of what the people who are listening to you, what you will sound like to them. It's so important that what you do is you practice your presentation. If all you're going to do is regurgitate the words that you've got on your screen, the words you've got on your document, your notes, your presentation notes, if that's all you're going to do, you know what? Save people time, save them money. Just send them a sheet of paper, send them the information in an email. Go send them a document, forward them the document. Don't suck up people's time in a meeting if all you're going to do is give them the same. Your job as a presenter, as an effective communicator, is to add to, embellish, support through whatever way you can the information that you're giving them with the words that are already there. You're adding more through your presentation, through your voice. There is a technique, and that technique is called the P.R.E.P technique that I'm going to share with you today. I love the P.R.E.P technique. You'll find it in many places, Toastmasters International, on LinkedIn, do a Google search, you'll find the P.R.E.P technique, P.R.E.P, it's an acronym. And the reason you'll find it in a lot of places is because it's easy to use and it works. Thing I like about it is because it's easy to use, it lets you put your material together faster, which then leaves you a bit of time for practicing. And in most cases, probably 99.9% of the cases, you're never going to be asked to speak on something you don't know because you're in a work environment where you are the expert. You are the one that works with this material, this information, this documentation all the time. So you are the person then who knows this. The key thing here is how to put that information together clearly, quickly, and then give you some time for practice. So the P.R.E.P technique goes like this. The first P stands for point. What's your point? State your point. Sometimes people are confused between point and topic. So a question you may want to ask yourself is, what do I want people to leave with when I am finished? What is the one thing, the one piece of information I want to leave them with? That one piece of information that you can put into a short sentence in the palm of your hand is your point. State your point. The next R stands for reason. reasons for why you are expressing that point, why you're making that proposition, asking for that recommendation, whatever it is. And the reason, this is where you give your proof, the illustrations, the documentation, the statistics, the facts, the testimonies, the studies, the surveys, whatever it is that lends support, lends support to your point. E is the example. So the example here, maybe you've got a great little story here that shows where somebody has put into practice. They've implemented what you suggested, and this is how it went and how it worked and how it benefited. So whatever you've got here that can support your evidence that shows that this can work, this is a good thing, there's a benefit to doing this, in your example, that's what you put there. Then you're going to wrap up with your point. You're going to restate, reaffirm, reiterate your point, because you want to make sure that people are crystal clear on what your point is. So when they walk out that door, they know that one thing, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that one thing that you want them to take away and act on. Now, an example, here is an example of using the P.R.E.P formula. Have you put off exercising? Or maybe you've never done any exercise at all. Maybe you're like me. I always have thought of exercising, but have never done it. And so now I'm thinking, I'd like to exercise. I want to get my heart in shape. I want to get my body in shape. And I thought to myself, what can I do? And somebody suggested walking. And now I'm going to recommend walking to you. So I find walking has just been perfect for helping me get in shape, feel better about myself, and just my overall well-being has increased since I've begun to walk. So walk, walk, walk. And I've got 3 reasons for you why you should take up walking. Number 1, it's easy to do. Walking is easy to do. Number 2, my goodness, it's inexpensive. I was shocked. I was looking at fitness and I thought, oh, got to join a gym, got to do this, got to do that, and money, money, money. And then somebody said, no, for walking, just get yourself a good pair of walking shoes. So that's my second reason. First, it's easy to do. Second, it's inexpensive. It's cheap. All I need is a really good pair of walking shoes. And number 3, it's so good for your heart health and it's so good for your overall well-being. In fact, I was reading in the 2023 European Journal of Preventive Cardiology that they did studies, they did surveys with thousands of people from different countries around the world, and they found that the more people walked, the more benefits the people received in terms of health, in terms of feeling good, in terms of fitness, and particularly for the heart. It was exceptional. Walking was exceptional for increasing your heart health and just your overall feeling of well-being. So I'm going to say myself here as an example. That's what I'm going to give you for walking. And that is, I used to, I don't anymore, but I used to travel a lot for work. And in my travel, I'd get on the plane, I'd sit on the plane, no, sit. Then I'd get off the plane at my destination, pick up a rental car, sit in the rental car to drive to another destination, and I'd sit, sometimes 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, whatever. And then I'd get to the hotel and then I'd sign into the hotel and I'd go sit at my desk and do a bit more work. The next day I'd stand up, I'd do a workshop, I'd be standing, but then I'd go back to sitting, get in my rental car and I'd drive to the next destination and I would sit and do that destination after destination. And then when I had to drive back to the airport, I'd sit going to the airport and then I'd get on the plane and sit again. And then I'd get off the plane, I'd be back home. And guess what? I'd go sit in my office, do debriefing, write up my notes, do whatever I needed to do. I did an enormous amount of sitting. With that sitting came added weight. With added weight came, well, maybe the sitting and weight combined added to the stress. And I ended up having some heart issues and wasn't feeling all that well. And a friend of mine suggested walking. And I said, oh, I've never exercised. I'm so out of shape. And the friend said, hey, you know what? You're walking now. Can you do it? I said, yeah, I can walk. And my friend said, you have a few dollars to get a good pair of walking shoes? I said, yeah, I've got a few dollars to get a good pair of walking shoes. And then my friend said, well, you know what? Go Google and do some research on the benefits of walking for your heart, for overall feeling good about yourself and your well-being. Oh, so I did that. And that's when I found that journal, a European journal on, preventive cardiology. And I thought, oh, okay, sounds decent to me. So I started walking. And I can tell you right now that walking has made a phenomenal difference in how I feel. And how I feel, my mood, my sense of health about myself. Have I lost a lot of weight? No, but little by little it's creeping down. But what it has truly benefited is my heart is getting healthier. I'm feeling better about myself, and my overall health has definitely improved. So I can't say enough about walking. Just go get yourself a pair of shoes if you don't have them and start walking today. The prep formula is an easy formula. You just get into the habit. You make sure you've got your point down. Once you know what your point is, what are the reasons you've got to support that point? And then, of course, you give an example of where this works or how it can work or the possibilities of it working. And of course, then you wrap up again with your point. It gives you also, using the prep formula also gives you time to practice. There is no way that anyone can become a dynamic, engaging presenter, which is what you're looking to do. Even though you may give presentations on a regular basis, and it may be just in your work environment, the fact is, when you stand up and speak in front of other people, you're visible. You're somebody people are looking at, and they're going to be making some judgments about. You have a choice and how you want them to see you. You have a choice about how you want them to hear you. And if you want to raise the bar on yourself and move yourself into the feeling of being good, successful, and have them feel the same way about you, then I highly encourage you to start using the PrEP formula. Because when you feel good about yourself, your audience is going to feel good about you. Use the PrEP formula. Until next time, this is Dorothea Hendricks wishing you mountains of success.